Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 150!
Woo!
I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky.
Hi.
You just heard that from the first time, and Jana's here too.
Hello.
That looks fabulous. What are you eating?
I'm eating Chipotle
Thank you.
tacos. For those of you who don't know,
Chipotle.
I pronounce Chipotle wrong all the time, so I just pronounce a silent L, and
It's
it
like
annoys people.
aluminium or nuclear. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the build your own kid, so it was like $4 compared
that's
to.
epic.
You know what? This
probably
beer
get
that
that.
I'm drinking
Yeah.
reminds me of summer.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Summit Extra Pale Ale.
I knew what you were
And
drinking.
so-
I was trying to get the listeners to...
So what this reminds me of summer about is when you're at a barbecue and you open up the cooler and it's nothing but Budweiser and the only semi-craft beer is a Summit EPA.
You go for the EPA.
And you go for the EPA. And it's really beautiful outside. It's so nice. It's wonderful.
So it's
and
the Desert Mirage.
And you're just like, you're sitting there and you're just drinking and you're like, I really wish I was drinking anything else on this beautiful, like, summer afternoon, evening, waiting for my hot dogs to be done. These kids are screaming.
Anyway, head on over to patreon.com/Carbitrage, where you can find 2 levels of open-ended support that you could do for us. Patreon is it's a method of content consumers like you to support content producers like us.
Sorry, Burger is
Like-
pre-gaming this episode.
Like Bill Gates
It is
for
like-
PBS.
It's
You can
9 hours later than we typically do this, and it's not a weekend.
You're also not a night person at all.
No, I have to be up and at work at 6 in the
I'm
morning. and
I'm
it's
like
currently almost
on my
9.
level right now because this is when I like start writing stuff.
So listen to Ryan. He's got this covered. But anyway, seriously, patreon.com/Carbitrage. We
It
have
really
2
enables
levels of
us.
support. We just buy beer with it.
Yeah,
and,
it enables us to be able to actually do this because beer does power the show. But more importantly, as we grow, we're trying to get to a point where we're actually be financially sustainable.
Right now,
to do
beer does
this.
power the show. At some point, if we ever
yeah.
get more patrons, we'll be able to pay for
Yeah.
some
Or
things.
MeUndies
But
to sponsor us.
We can get me on because they sponsor literally everyone. So
I don't.
I'm wearing
I don't.
a MeUndies
Okay,
bralette
sure.
and
Yeah.
onesie.
I'm
Just sponsor
wearing-
me, and then I will sponsor
Jana's
the podcast.
this one. Ryan's girlfriend.
hi. I'm wearing MeUndies too.
Or the girl
Mine have
next to
dreidels and
Eric.
yarmulkes
Also
on them.
known as the girl next to Eric. Sorry, I had just turned down because of eating.
Yeah.
But moving on. We did beer. We did Patreon. Let's
And
start with
now
the
I'm
first topic,
talking-
which...
About Hagerty, actually.
Wow, I feel like we
did?
just ended with that.
We did. So if you're listening to episode 149, it was we ended on Hagerty, and now we're talking about Hagerty.
Wow.
Hagerty's pretty great. They are actually not supporting us, even though they really probably should.
They really should.
Especially with how much money you give them.
I don't.
You
'cause
don't?
Their rates are terrible.
Oh, well, Hagerty can. Your rates can.
But if you
be
sponsor us,
good.
then my rates might be competitive with their leading competitor, which is JC Taylor.
Is-
Which, if you're listening, JC Taylor, which you aren't because you require fax machines to send your damn policy notes to,
Amazing.
please sponsor us.
I love
So,
that.
is this quid pro quo or is this extortion?
I am not following the impeachment hearings. Let's move on.
Anyway, so Hagerty reported that
Good Lord.
Bloomberg reported what we've been reporting, that millennials actually like cars.
Wow!
What?
We just couldn't afford them for a long time.
You mean rap culture hasn't like?
Yeah, like,
What?
it's really weird. Like, millennials actually like cars. It's just like when you're paying off $200,000 worth of student debt. Not really, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Then
Worked
you
for
have
a
the
nonprofit for
Carbitrage
2
Car
years.
of the Year, the Mitsubishi Mirage.
Exactly. Millennials love cars. But what I've been wondering, what do our non-car friends find most interesting as ways to enter the car hobby? Like, we all have our non-car friends.
Should
And
we call
what-
Johnny?
Yeah, like,
I mean,
what cars do our non-car friends actually find cool? Because that's actually what millennials are into.
Jeep Renegade.
That's what they find like super cool.
Yeah.
Your non-car friends suck.
Yeah, kinda.
So my non-car friends, what I've got a lot of friends that are into.
I mean, the Renegade's cool because you get a manual.
My friend Josh Erickson, which is a totally normal name. I can say the whole thing,
Well,
and
his
you're
dad's a
looking.
mechanic.
Wow, what's next? Is it going to be Chad Smith?
Anyway, so Josh, he is he got
white
super into Bosozoku scooters.
Oh, those get stolen all the time.
But he really got into them because he really likes the idea, because he's an artist. Like, he actually like went to school for art.
Me too.
Yeah, so he really likes the idea
No
of
way.
like a
Pound, me
a
too.
canvas for him to use every day as a forms of transportation.
Sure.
That is a way that he can personalize it.
Does
So
he
that's
live in a
Cars.
very dense urban environment?
He lives in Bloomington, but
So
he
it doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, he lives in Bloomington and he lives like
East or West Bloomington?
West Bloomington, but he's right down the street from like where he works. So
Okay.
like it makes sense to have a scooter. And so he actually has like been saving up to get one, and now he's heard about Bosozoku scooters.
Oh, no.
So now he's saving up to get a Yamaha Jog. So he really likes scooters.
I want no part of
He's
this.
he's
like-
done his like research on it about like what he finds really cool about him.
He's not necessarily not a car guy friend. He's just not in the car guy community.
Yeah, it's that.
Sorry, my
yeah.
mouth's still full. But like his dad's a mechanic, so
We've
he's
done
grown up
worse.
with cars, so he knows a little bit about cars.
Yeah, but
But
I mean,
he's not like super into them.
but like when I talk about him, I'm talking like this is a kid that like hipster vapes, plays Magic cards,
Right, but he's
that.
combating the public news persona,
Yeah.
which is like we want ride sharing and Ubers only.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like Josh is like the most millennial I've ever met in my
Oh,
life.
for
Like
sure.
he's king millennial. Like
He's got a black cat named what is his name? I forgot. It's
I,
a really
I don't
it's
even
a
care.
human
That's
But
name.
anyway,
adorable.
so like Steve
Probably
or something.
Paul.
Alvin.
Alvin.
Yeah.
His name's
But-
Alvin.
I
he's-
want to see this cat.
Yeah. So Josh is like he's really cool, but he's 100% like what the news says is a millennial.
Yes.
Sure.
So but
I
no, he's
appreciate you
really
setting
into
every story.
Yeah,
It's great.
He's very into scooters and mopeds. A lot of my other non-car friends that are from the heavy metal community, who have been driving around really. They've had one person in the band that has to own a really shitty Econoline van or something.
Okay, sure.
They've discovered 70s and 80s custom vans.
Oh no.
So that's actually another thing that a lot of millennials are into, are vans, because the thing is you have to have some sort of utility that you're getting
I will
out
say
of it,
they
or it
seem
has
to
take
like
up no
minivans
space.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
and van culture as well. So
I've seen several people get into like Odysseys. I'm like,
yes,
Not bad.
super into
Not bad.
van culture. I'm into van culture. But yeah, so scooters, mopeds, 70s and 80s era vans. A lot of my like metal friends like have been posting pictures from like Lucifer's Death Squad, which is a Facebook group. It's all about hot rod and custom van. And, like,
it has
70s
nothing to do
era.
with the
Yeah.
name of the group.
Yeah, nothing to do with any of that. But like it's really they posted a lot of pictures of like cool vans with like ethereal like goat boobs and like wizards on it and
Oh,
stuff.
what a sweet kitty. I
But
saw a
Big
picture of the
boy.
kitty.
yes, he's a very good boy.
Aw.
But Josh also is into vans as well because he, being an artist, wants a big canvas to paint on, and that's what the side of a panel van is.
So
one
he should be
giant
into
canvas.
Dojibon then.
And that's another thing.
Oh,
is
yeah,
he
he's
has
also
he has
really-
discovered those as well. It's just a matter of being able to
He
afford
also-
things. What he can get
Yeah,
into
he
right now
just
is
moved back in
Bosozoku.
with his grandparents, so he gets to live with like 2 more cats. So it's a 3-cat household.
But
That's
so-
mint.
Yes, it's great.
The final item that a lot of my millennial friends, I think that this goes for other millennials.
I'm only friends with Gen X and Boomers, as I learned.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm a millennial.
Cheap and easy to own
Like
classics.
2 millennials.
Cheap
Oh,
and-
like that. What was that? 1949.
the Kaiser, yeah.
The Kaiser.
So like cars like that are really appealing to millennials because yeah, you can have the look of a classic car, but you don't have to deal with all the bullshit. Like
Right.
you don't have to deal with regrinding camshafts or your like overly aggressive cam, or you don't have to find some ridiculous like fuel accumulator for your Volkswagen Fox that comes off a Ferrari
Ferrari
308 GTB. Like
Why does this box have prancing horses all over it?
yeah,
I
exactly.
do have to say, like, most of my friends that aren't car people don't drive because, like, there's a huge stereotype in the queer community that we don't drive. And I've noticed that it's very true that they just don't drive.
I have, I mean, I guess not a ton, but
Or
like,
they're
I have
afraid to drive.
several like LGBT friends, and they are all very into vehicles.
I think it's per friend group.
Yeah.
But so another thing
We're
with
talking about, like, awkward, like, not awkward teens. But
Sure,
like,
you're not talking the people that read Lavender.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So another thing that's kind of that with millennials with that easy to own classic thing is
I'm gonna turn Jana's mic off. For
it's
now.
it's something that's fun and easy to own and like look cool and have the fun experience in, but you don't have to deal with like the BS of it. Like you can still go home, have your normal car, and you have this like a 2CV or something.
A driver grade classic.
Yeah, or like a early Civic. Like when I say
Sure.
early Civic, a '70s era Civic, but they don't want to deal with like the garbage you have to get with like a Jaguar XK120.
Well, and they probably don't want to leave it in a garage because it might be not necessarily their only car, but it might be one of two vehicles, so
Precisely.
they really do need to use it.
Yeah, so it's something that's gonna be like you can start it up in winter and move it during a snow emergency.
Right.
And
like
that's
even
a-
the 850 was like that for me. That was like my first ever nice car, and like there was one day where like all of my dailies were broken, and I had to drive the 850.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was fine. Like it started right up. It had heated seats. Like the defrost worked. It wasn't a problem.
And
although
it's,
it killed me
that
inside.
car is easy to own though. I mean, it's a weirdo car, but
It has been. Some of them aren't.
Well, no, I mean the 850 is like that's a good example though of a
Yeah.
car that's relatively easy to own compared to like a
Definitely.
Ferrari.
Oh God, yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people have to look at when they were saying like what's a millennial car is something that when you're living in like an urban environment.
EM1.
Yeah, an EM1 like is a really good, easy to own classic that's fun to drive. You can drive it every day if need be.
MR2 Spider. I mean,
MR
there are so
yeah, there's-
many like just awesome cars that
And
you could use.
Another
every day.
example is with these 70s era giant boat classics.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of getting some notoriety, but the ones that are really getting quote unquote popular, relatively speaking, are like the Plymouth Velares and like the Dodge Aspens, the weird like compacts from the 70s of the American cars.
Sure.
Because like if you're gonna do something that's gonna be like a muscle car, you can easily put like a 350 into that, make a cool muscle car.
An
but
Aspen was a Fox chassis.
no, Dodge Aspen is not a Ford chassis.
You're right. Yeah.
But it was the same size though.
Touche,
A
salesman.
relatively small car though.
Right.
Compared-
I'm thinking of the Fairmont.
Yeah, you're thinking of the big ones.
Fairmont.
Yeah. But those cars, the Fairmonts, the Aspens, the Malibus, those are really are more popular for younger millennials that are somewhat into muscle cars because you can get into them cheap.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the footprint that like a big giant like 73 Monte Carlo is going to have.
Sure.
So you can park it in the city, and then like it kind of looks like a normal car. Like you're not going to get harassed for driving this like big
Well, it's
ridiculous
cheap
car.
because you're not paying for the cachet.
And that's the thing is like it's a cheap, easy owned classic, and that's again falls in that same line.
That's an interesting point. I mean, yeah, millennials I think are after the usable driver grade,
Yep. And even
usable classics.
and then when you look at these other two, so Josh with the scooters, that's a regular means of transportation for him.
Sure.
So that's another easy to own like collector vehicle.
Yeah.
You have my metal friends that are into like boogie vans and stuff.
Of course.
Those are their band vans. So they're actually
Multi-purpose, I mean, yeah.
multi-purpose vehicles. And then with all these things, it's got to be something that you can make your own, where you're not going to ruin the car by straying from what's normal, because millennials like to make things weird. So that's why a lot of these super high dollar, like $300,000, oh, it has to be perfect, collector builds kind of are dying off, because millennials, like, we want to put on our Keystone Classics onto our Malibu. Like, we want to do our weird things. So,
Yeah, I also think that like because Japanese cars
is
are
Jan's mic on?
Yeah.
Okay.
becoming like super popular. Like I mean, they've always been popular for us, but now to the broader,
collector market,
like
yeah.
collector market, they're becoming more popular.
Yeah, we
I
talked
think
about that
that's
within the last
also-
year and a half even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also has to do with like these boomer parents with like millennial children, and the millennial children are like, "Hey, Dad, I think you should invest in this car," and then the dad's like,
I can-
well,
That's
you
actually
could-
a very good
I
point.
can kind of
actually.
relate to that.
Yeah, because like that's what I do
Yeah,
with
the
my
Z8.
dad.
Yeah, with the
Like-
Z8, you got your dad
I'm like,
to buy it.
I would love this car, but like I discounted it over 15 years ago. It was like never gonna happen. Way
Yeah.
too much money.
My dad came very close to buying an E30, like for his car.
Yeah, so I think like we're
Talk about a
starting
usable
to
classic.
influence our parents, and then we're like, hey, so you don't have to store it, we can drive it too. Like,
And that's the thing. I mean, that's the boomer mentality. I mean, it's not just cars. Like, it's
Yeah.
their entire mindset and how they live life. But like, oh yeah, I can have a car and just keep it in the garage. That's no problem. Drive it once a year. But millennials are like, okay, well, I want a different, more fun car, which is arguably less special.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna drive it every day.
yeah.
So that's where a lot of these cars, a lot of overly specialized cars are dying out. You know, it's like evolution with animals. Like if
Yeah.
you're overly specialized, you're gonna go extinct.
Rip koalas.
Yeah.
Rip
And
saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, saber-toothed tiger and the Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite. Even though I think that one might actually make a comeback. I love that car.
They're probably touching tips.
But like the Corvette, like things like that are overly specialized
Yeah.
in one or many
We'll
ways.
call it maybe overly niche.
Yeah, and well, again, overly specialized. It's
Right,
just like
but
it's like an
with
animal.
with cars though, I mean, specialized isn't really a term I hear all that often.
well,
with
I'm what I'm using is I'm using a
using.
what
What
would that
using?
be? Paleontology?
No.
Archaeology? What would
Jenna's
that
like,
be?
Human
definitely
evolution?
not.
No, I'm not talking about human evolution. I'm talking about what would it say? Who studies a saber-toothed tiger?
Yeah, that would be a paleontologist.
So I was
but-
right,
or
paleontologist.
An like there, so many different people study.
Anyway, so
ancient-
I was using a paleontology, archaeology, human evolutionist, whatever, science term.
In the spirit of evolution, we've spent 15 minutes on the first topic.
Let's
so,
evolve
Let's
to
let's
topic
evolve
two.
into topic 2. So you guys are familiar with late model Mopars, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, we'll talk about anything that's got the scat pack and the-
Everything with those stupid little yellow things on.
Yeah,
right?
the splitter guards.
That's what they're called.
I want to talk about this.
Okay, let's talk
because
about this.
They're yellow. The first time you saw one out in the wild, you're probably like, "What the hell is that?" They're supposed to be removed during a PDI.
Oh, really?
Some people, yes. Some people saw them on their vehicle before they took delivery of them and insisted they be left on.
Same.
I have a hard time saying this with a straight face because they're
Same.
so
That's
ugly.
great.
Dodge hates this. So they have changed the color of the front lip splitter guards from yellow
Yeah,
to pink.
that
Perfect.
makes it better.
Yes.
I think it's cooler that way, but
Yeah,
also
but
they're
that
in the
is cool.
process. This is an intermediate step. They're actually going to change them to black, so people can just leave them on as splitters.
So
because they're
dumb.
so sick of people leaving
You know what's
this
gonna happen?
garish yellow thing
You know what's
on.
gonna happen? There's gonna be an aftermarket for those.
There already is. There's companies that makes red buds.
I love that. That's really funny.
I
So
love
there's an
that they're
aftermarket
paint-
for something that isn't even an OE part.
Yeah.
God.
I just love that it's pink because anybody who buys
do have
these
an article,
cars are gonna
actually.
be like, "Oh, pink," and we're gonna be like,
Oh
"Pink."
God, look at those.
So here's a
things.
photo of the yellow ones that we all hate. The Challenger's arguably worse because I think the Charger one goes all the way around the front.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't
They do it just the corners.
Okay. But anyway,
I wanna see the pink ones.
there's a car. I
don't have a
want-
picture of the pink ones.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. It doesn't exist. Anyway, this isn't good radio. Let's move on to your next
Clickety
topic,
clack,
which is
clickety
about
clack.
the four-cylinder BMW
I have two in a row?
B48 powered
Oh,
because Jana
jeez.
didn't have one.
Wait, what did? What?
We were gonna try and get you one, and I forgot.
Okay,
You
fine.
what?
So
There you
they're
go.
pink now. Fine.
That looks so much better.
I agree.
It should be pink.
I would probably leave it
Did
on
you
there.
want to talk about a topic, honey?
No, but I could tell a story from driving the other day.
Yeah,
So
that's a topic.
Because I always drive
Wait,
down.
there's
Highway
something
100.
in here from Hagerty.
No, that you put that just Jana thing in
I
between
didn't
mine.
move it.
I didn't.
That's fine. Sorry, Jen.
Anywho, so like on my way to work, driving north on Highway 100, I was in the slow lane because I was coming
Also
close
known as
to,
the right lane.
Yeah, the right lane, and because I was like 2 or 3 exits away from work, and traffic was going fine, so I was going perfect 60 in a 55 in the right lane, and all of a sudden this white like Dodge Van in front of me turns on its blinker, and I'm
Wait,
like,
a Dodge B series.
I don't
Ram
know,
fan?
just a
Like a
white rape van.
1995
Whatever.
Oh, okay.
Dodge.
So a
But
rape
whatever.
van. So
I just wanted to say something fun, but I don't
That's
care.
such a bummer that they're.
And so they turn their blinker on, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna turn on Excelsior. Like they just turned on their blinker really suddenly, and their speed goes from 60, and they're slowing down to like 40. And I'm like, dude, why are you slowing down so quickly for this exit? Like this is madness. And then they start pulling off to the shoulder, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop on a highway because
No.
this person's pulling off.
Yeah.
So I kindly maintain my speed and go like not quite over the other lane, but I like scoot over so I can get past them.
Sure, you
and
do
I'm
the
like,
little wiggle.
I do a little wiggle, and like I know I'm within the lane, and or
Commence the
like maybe
wiggling.
like on the
Oh,
line,
shoot, I forgot I had the screen.
but some like forest green Honda Accord blows their horn at me because I'm like scooting a little bit.
So one second, by forest green Honda Accord, you know it's from the 1990s.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a 1996 CD Accord
Yep.
sedan.
That's a CD Accord sedan.
Exactly what it is.
A bumper, it's kind of hanging off in the corner.
And,
yellow headlights.
you know, from the middle lane,
You guys have ruined me.
they like honk like viciously at me, like Orion honk. Like they're super freaking annoyed. That
One second, we need.
I don't know. Ryan Honk is like I'm
Ryan-
questioning life honk.
No, a Ryan honk is I lay on the horn until one of the horns overheats and stops blowing, and then it changes tone. Like
And
that's
this
I don't blow
That's
my.
me in high beams. I leave it on until that person's no longer in the lane in front of me, which can sometimes last hundreds of miles.
I laid on the horn for well over a minute before. So.
But yeah, so like this Accord's obviously very angry at me, but I'm like,
We're not petty.
You're coming from the middle lane. You
Yeah.
saw exactly what happened where this person has had their blinker
And
on.
American lanes are 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
There's plenty of padding
And I'm
there.
like,
Yes, that's true.
and everyone else behind him had like no problem. Like they all zoomed past me.
Let me guess. This person saw that you were going to move over to let this person off, and they
Yeah.
probably accelerated.
They did.
So you could be in their way.
Yeah, and I was just like,
Wow.
and I could feel that they like looked at me. They probably flipped me off, but I don't look at people in their cars.
Oh, I do, and then I give them the whole.
But like, I just kind of like exasperated my arms, and I'm
Berger
like,
makes fellatio gestures with his hands.
Both hands.
so I just like
As I'm on
threw up my
autopilot.
arms, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking stop. Like,
There's your one
especially
F-bomb.
on yeah.
She lost her blanket.
Yeah, I lost my
One
blanket.
second, I'm gonna help
It's-
Jana one
no,
second.
I'm
No,
sitting
it's
on
fine.
it, so it's fine.
Okay, I thought it fell on the ground.
No, I'm sitting on it, so it doesn't fall on the ground. But like, I was like so angry because I'm like, I'm on a highway. I'm not gonna slam on my brakes because
No.
this person didn't put their hazards on.
Like in Europe, I don't know if it's against the law, but like it's really bad to ever even hit your brakes on the highway.
Yeah, like I was already nervous going 40
Yeah.
in a 55. Like, I'm not
As
like
conditions
stopping
permit,
on.
Sure.
Like, I'm not stomping on my brakes, and I just was so mad because everyone else was okay except for this 90s forest green Accord. I was so
A CD
pissed.
96
mad.
sedan.
Like,
Anyway.
I was just like so mad on my way to work, and I was like, you guys.
All because of this one Accord just ruined your day.
Well, yeah, and the
Pro tip. So what's the moral of the story here?
Do
moral
not
of the
buy a
story-
forest green 1996 CD Accord automatic.
the moral
That
of
is
the
actually true,
story
'cause it will be
is
stolen.
like, yeah.
So
The moral of the story is when you're pulling over on the side of the road, use your hazards, not your blinker.
yeah,
And
don't screw up traffic. Be assertive.
And if you see somebody swerving into your lane, what you think is going to be into your lane, don't honk. Because, well, I mean, if you think they're coming at you,
Avoid
honk.
them.
But
Avoid
like,
them.
Honk only if they are going to drive you into a mechanical barrier.
Exactly. But like,
Now.
you can like, the highway's just so.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
the BMW 4-cylinder B48 powered GR Supra
blah, blah, blah.
that Eric
So,
is going to talk about is now being talked
we
about.
love the fabulous, amazing B58 powered Toyota Supra that was.
Debatable! But anyway, actually, I
No,
love
it was one of our Carbitrage
I,
cars.
know,
that we
I
last year.
love it. I just want. I
Great
like
car.
riling you up.
Great car. They are unfortunately bringing the 4-cylinder powered one here.
Wait
too.
a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
The
The
BMW
Celica.
4 cylinders.
ooh, it's as bad as you think.
What was the one that was in the E30 S14, right?
Yeah, the 30
That
was
was
good.
that was the last good one that I can think of. That's the last noteworthy 4-cylinder they've
the
made.
no the
They've
the
made.
1991 318i engine was good too.
Okay.
After that,
I'm 29 years old as of yesterday.
really
so
bad, really bad. So do not ever buy one of these. Don't do it unless you're gonna put an LS in it or a 2J.
this is a bad idea.
Do-
Wait a second. Wait. Oh, wait.
Ow. My ears.
All right.
hurt
This
now.
this irritates me even more because I just remembered.
What?
Toyota just made a really kick-ass 4-cylinder in the Corolla.
Yeah, the 1.8 supercharged.
No, the
Or
2.4.
2.4.
The 2.4 that's in the 2.4 in the Corolla hatchback.
Well, that was fine.
That's a great engine.
It's not as good as the GRMN Yaris engine.
Which is not federally mandated for America yet, but this is so
Fine.
they're federally mandating a trash engine to put into the Supra that's
Your
going to suck.
point is Toyota makes an awesome NA
Four-cylinder. There's
four-cylinder.
no reason to put this BMW trash into this thing.
So this is the B48 BMW engine. It's not as bad as the N20. It is not as bad as the N20. And I do not know the answer. I will provide you with the answer when I know. Toyota provides a different service schedule and oil weight for this engine than BMW does.
Yeah.
Because if Toyota specs a 5W40 in that 5,000 mile interval, we're fine. But if they go with the BMW 0W20 and 15,000 mile intervals, we're screwed.
That's what they're going to do.
I know, but like Toyota sometimes it's better. Why is this called a Supra?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Celica
It's
Supra.
a Celica.
Well, also, no, it shouldn't even be a Celica. What should it be?
It's a me angry car is what this is.
No, I'm trying to think of it. This is a Toyota Sports 800, but how many? It's a Toyota Sports 2000.
Yeah.
That's
which
what it is.
Trash.
I'm trying to think of the only other Toyota
Not to be
2
confused
plus,
with the other Toyota with Edge 2000 on its name, which is good.
which is what they were totally trying to design, and
I
then
only picked this topic to tell you to please not buy this.
This is
Go
a really
buy the
bad
6-cylinder
vehicle.
one. The 4-cylinder one's trash. Do not buy this.
So, all right, how much horsepower does it make? It must make some insane.
245 horsepower.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
245 horsepower.
Yeah. I mean, you can tune them up to a bunch, but yeah.
That's a totally reasonable
Stock to
amount of power.
245.
though.
Yeah.
So you're trying to tell me a Toyota doesn't make a single 245 horsepower?
Did I mention this engine shared with the BMW X1 lease special?
X1. Oh God.
Yeah, the front-wheel drive Mini Cooper-based BMW
Which
that they
is
leased to Karens.
the engine's known for reliability.
The
No, wait a minute. It's actually not. It's known exactly the opposite.
Yeah, you were.
It's
yeah.
not.
You
for
were
being
close.
reliable.
You were close.
It is known for being objectively actually bad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yep. So
yeah. Yes. It's
please,
known for being a
for
terrible.
the love of God, do not buy one of these. Tell Toyota that they've made a huge mistake because they've made a huge mistake.
So,
Yeah.
well, all right.
How
this is
everyone else feels about the B58 Supra, I feel about that one.
Toyota makes the engine that's available in the XSE makes 170 horsepower. And how much does that? Does that
245.
245.
And it's a shelf of torque. I mean, it's not even close on power.
so I could.
But they could
power-wise.
federalize the GR engine, and it would be within 20 horsepower.
Yes, and then
It's not that hard.
also what they could do is just put a supercharger on it, on the dynamic force 4-cylinder, the M20A.
Yeah, but if they could even supercharge their 2.4, it'd be great.
That'd be a really good engine.
So Toyota, just no.
Well, that's not talking about. That was the Corolla engine.
Even if they put the flat 4 in there, it would be better.
anything. Well, actually, the flat 4, I don't know. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's turning out to be a real big
Okay,
trash pile.
that's true. The integrated timing pump thing, that's bad.
So actually, what I want to do is I want to change.
Thank you, Subaru.
Subaru.
We loved the FA when it came out, but it turned out it's not that great.
No.
It turned out to be actually very bad.
It's
So,
poorly.
would you like to play a game, or would you like to give some buying advice? Because I can easily switch mine around. I'm kind of curious which one you would rather do first.
Well, we just did a game, so I guess buying advice?
Okay, let's do buying advice. We'll end this episode with a game too. So
Sure.
it'll be fun.
Works for
All
me.
right. So Jana's dad has chosen his vehicle.
Yes.
But this is a question that was
Is it a
raised to
Honda
me.
Pilot?
No,
No.
he was looking for.
He drives a Honda Ridgeline.
He was actually looking for this: a family-friendly convertible. Has to be a convertible
Okay.
that
Good.
is
Good
as
man.
reliable as possible, can fit 4 people
and
in
a
it,
dog.
and a dog. Yes.
4 people and a dog.
Well, the dog counts as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dog can sit on a lap. Can fit
he's a
4
very
people.
large
One
dog.
second. We can fit 4 people in it. It's got under 100,000 miles and costs under $8,000.
Good lord.
What is that? What vehicle would you get?
E46 BMW 330Ci with a maintenance history. That's
That would
it.
be a good car.
That's it.
He chose a V6 Solara.
That's a horrible decision.
Why?
Yeah.
They didn't come in manual.
Yes, he is.
And
Yeah,
they're
then.
floppy, not the convertible they didn't.
Well, I mean, but still, that
No, it's a horrible car. Like that's when Karen thinks about a convertible, she flicks her B into
Well,
the
see,
Solara.
the thing is, my dad tried the Volkswagen Beetle convertible, and that didn't turn out for him. So he's trying to do a
Reliable one.
Japanese convertible. And
So
Solara
this is actually what I
You
recommended.
can't get an IS or a G convertible for that kind of money.
No, you can't. And now, this is what I was going to recommend, because you're kind of relegated. You have to suck it up, and unless you buy an old BMW, which
you
have
should
to, you
do in
should
this
do.
case.
You should do. But say, for whatever reason, the person doesn't want it.
My stubborn father.
Yes. You're going to be likely getting an automatic. So we have to put our anti-automatic stance aside. This is why...
E46 328 convertible, which had the GM 5L40E, which is indestructible.
So, this is what I told him.
Okay.
SC430.
The back seats are not capable of supporting any human life over 2.2 years old.
But it is technically a four-seater.
For insurance purposes only.
But it is a
Scott and I
four-cylinder.
test every rear seat in every convertible. The only one that's even close to as bad is the Mini Cooper convertible, which has rear seats.
We should also know that the Mini Cooper convertible is a terrible decision.
It is a horrible vehicle.
Very
with
bad vehicle.
Non-existent rear seats. The SC430 rear seats do not exist. They cannot be used.
Okay.
They're only there for insurance
So
purposes.
not the SC430.
Do not buy an SC430 unless you just want the VA noise and two people. It's fine.
No, like this specifically, and it has to be easy to get in and out of because my brother has limited mobility.
E46
Same thing with the dog.
328 because it is the only one that for sure has the reliable automatic which sustains neglect. You can just buy any one you want and $1,000 will fix it for like 100,000 miles.
What was did Mercedes make a good three
made-
series convertible?
The CLK convertible was okay, but you
Did
have
that,
to...
did that have the terrible air suspension?
No, they're coil spring, but you do have to worry. You have to buy one with more than 150,000 miles on it.
Okay.
Which he's not willing to do.
Because if you buy one with less than that, it could still have the cylinder delamination problems that the 112 and the 113 had.
Nope. This makes it very difficult, doesn't it?
We had this exact conundrum when we
When you
bought the
wanted to-
convertible for Florida, because we needed something with 4 seats. It needed to be under 10 grand, and it needed to be reliable. What we came up with was the Mercedes CLK, and I said no, because cylinder delamination problems.
Very good
And I said
decision.
yes to the ZF, not the ZF. The ZF one's trash because the reverse explodes. But the General Motors automatic, so the big displacement early convertibles. What we ended up with was an 01 330, which some
Much
of them
better.
have that. Some have that. Some have the trash trans.
Oh, God,
we got the better engine with the more reliable trans, and that car was perfect.
So this is a question I can actually pose. What about a really, really, really late model, 4th generation Camaro convertible?
No,
Because they have to look at it.
no, but like even like the top mechanism and like getting in and out of it, not happening.
Not
It's body
happening?
on frame, just there's no space.
Wait, that's a body in front. Get out of town.
4th gen?
4th gen, 90s.
Yeah, like that ended in 02.
That's body in front. Get out of town.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's a monocoque.
It's
'Cause
at
I
least-
know a
it's
3rd
at least
gen,
like partial subframe.
a subframe was monocoque.
No, but they had like frame in the forward, and then they had like a unibody in the back with a subframe.
Okay, so modified monocoque.
Yeah, I forget the term for it, but there is like a partial.
A partial monocoque, yeah.
Either way, it's live axle, and just no, don't do it.
So that wouldn't be that good. This is a very, very
I stand
difficult.
by, you need to buy an E46 convertible with the GM 5-speed automatic.
I'm gonna go with actually. I think I might have to be stuck with the Solara, because that's the only one where you get a reasonable back seat.
It's a worse backseat than the E46.
Yeah, but
Substantially worse.
at the same time, like, say something does break, like it's gonna be a lot cheaper to maintain.
If you don't get one that has sludge problems, yeah, probably.
That is a very good point. 3.3, like your van does have horrific sludge problems. So yeah,
But like,
we're back to square one. Where it's got to be the BMW.
The
like,
BMW, and then
it's
you
a
put
really
$500 into the cooling system, and you just roll the dice.
I think that might be it.
And they drive so nice.
They're really good cars and they work.
see, the thing is, my dad's never gonna listen to me. Like that's my
Yeah,
issue.
he'll
So
keep
what has he suggested so far?
Solara.
The Solara.
So he'll end up with the Solara
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people buy cars
And-
and they just want your confirmation.
Actually, to be
no,
honest,
he doesn't even ask
yeah,
me.
I
Like,
give it to him unsolicited.
And-
It's like when you walk down the street and somebody just shows you their penis. It's just
Oh, it's like the man in the park with the big trench coat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like that with my
And so, like-
automotive opinion.
So whenever I like talk to my dad
is
about the
troubling.
cars I like, he'll be like,
Actually, you know
No.
what? Wait
But,
a
like-
minute. Wait a minute. Fiat 500 with a manual. Fiat
No.
500 convertible with a manual.
it's not. No, the
That
top
back
doesn't go
seat's
down.
reasonable.
The top doesn't go down enough for for them.
I
Like they're
I
not
like your
gonna
answer.
like.
That's a good
Super
answer.
reliable.
I would love that,
Super
but
cheap.
back seat isn't gonna fit my brother.
Yes, it
the back
will.
seat's not gonna fit my dog.
I
Yes, it
actually no. Toyota
Back
made a
seats are
version.
surprisingly
Toyota
good.
made a version of that. The Toyota Soarer Aero Coupe. Can we look up a 1989 Toyota Soarer Aero Coupe? Because this is a Fiat
Okay.
500 convertible that is a Toyota. It has an automatic transmission. It is exceedingly reliable, and it's safe. You can roll it over. and
Dude,
it's
this is a Bauer. That's
See,
this
like-
isn't happening. And the
No,
good
and,
one
like-
apparently is expensive.
Like,
that is under
so
$8,000 or
just-
over $8,000. Damn it! So
I've told my
Cool car,
father
though.
that I want a Fiat 500C, and he goes, "That's a good car for you. I'm never gonna help you with that." Financially, he means. 'cause
Well,
he's
isn't
However-
your
very
dad a
aggressive.
Republican?
yes, he is for
Oh.
no
He's
reason.
very
He's for no
confused.
reason.
We're not
He's
gonna
he's
help him.
confused Republican. Now I think the
No.
correct answer. The correct answer I think might actually be a 500C.
See, he poses the question.
That
wait,
is for an idiot. That's the best answer.
A
Yeah,
500C or a BMW. Like it's
answer
gonna be
these
Or
okay.
gonna be a little
questions. So
maintenance,
when his decision goes wrong,
Yeah.
then we swoop in and we slowly get him in a better vehicle.
Yeah, that's actually how we got him out of the Volkswagen.
So when you're shopping for the Solara that he will end up with, make sure you find one that has the sludgiest 3MC you can possibly
Yeah.
find.
Yes, and then well
and then
because
make
I
my
told
sister
I
drive it to
he,
college.
he bought the Beetle
20,000
knowing that it's
mile
not a
oil
great car.
change.
He bought the Beetle knowing it's not a
He
great car.
bought a Beetle.
Yeah, so the,
Sight unseen,
sight
automatic.
unseen, automatic, 09G problems immediately happened. Immediately had to put a transmission into it. Then the taillight flew apart, like happens on a Beetle. The only thing it didn't break was the only thing that was reliable on the car, which is the 2.5 liter, which had a vacuum pump that was hemorrhaging oil.
Mind you, I was going to North Carolina. So he bought it in North Carolina. Mind you, I was going to North Carolina 2 weeks after he bought it.
Oh my god.
He knew that. It was a premeditated trip. So, anyway.
Okay,
Correct
you said under 10 grand and under 100,000 miles, right?
Yep, I think a Fiat 500C or a BMW.
I
would be-
really, really hate to recommend this, but an 05 4.6 liter Mustang convertible.
That's a really killer idea.
Yeah. I never
Freaking
hated, but-
Republican boomers love those things.
Not only that,
they're
they're
actually
really-
pretty fast. They're pretty reliable. They have decent back seats.
So like,
Yeah, that'd be a good car. And
thing
actually,
about my
no,
dad
actually,
is he hates
Definitely
American
in
what?
cars.
Time out. 1 second. Her dad's Burr. We have an entire conversation about this. But no, actually, this is a really good point for your dad because
Jimny.
your brother also is in diapers and everything.
Corey wants a Jimny.
A Jimny, yes.
Yeah.
We also want a Jimny, which is why it's on that thing.
Wait a minute, we totally forgot about trucks. Because a Kia
not
Sportage has a convertible, the first generation Kia Sportage, and it's got a Mazda 4-cylinder.
No.
No, he wants a city cruiser.
No. He's going to end up with the Solara, but I do think that the 4.6 liter 3-valve 05, so the first year of that retro style Mustang,
So the retro style Mustang, first year of that.
they're not inspired, but they're pretty good cars.
So first generation, new look
Retro,
Mustang.
yeah.
The first year of the not Mustang. You have the Fiat 500C
Yep, great car.
or the BMW 330 Ci.
We'll say
E46.
328 Ci just to make sure that they get the right trans.
So 328 Ci, specifically E46 convertible.
just make sure it's got
So
the
when the
GM
Solara
trans.
dies due to sludge issues,
Those are your three options.
we'll move
all have a
on
Mustang.
to the Mustang, and then we'll go to the
Probably the
BMW
Mustang,
eventually.
yeah.
And
Yes.
then eventually he'll have a good.
Then I'll have a
There
new.
we go.
Then I'll have a new customer.
Yeah, right.
So Eric, why don't you give us one last topic, and then we're gonna go play the Carbitrage Worth It game.
So, do you guys remember some time ago in the 1990s,
Audi, yes,
had an unintended acceleration suit?
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
pretty
The-
big news.
the C1s.
1993, 1994.
Yeah, the C1.
Nobody remembers it anymore.
The year I was born.
No, I
little
I'm
bit
familiar.
later?
I remember it
Well,
because,
you do because you work at Good Karma.
because no, this is why I remember it because I almost ran over a technician because I put an Audi 5000
Allegedly.
into no, I'll admit it. I almost ran him over. I put an Audi 5000 into reverse.
Okay.
And it just started accelerating on me like crazy. I had to slap into neutral. Like
What
it,
is
ac-
it
it had the
called when-
unintended acceleration. But anyway,
What is
Mark-
it called when a law, like, you committed a crime so long ago that it doesn't count?
Statutes of
Statute
limitations.
of
It's
limitations.
statutes of limitations. You
fine.
can't be charged for it
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, not only that,
Mark
it
had a
actually hit him.
C6 A6 2.8 Quattro
Yeah.
back in the day. Randomly, the accelerator would jam on full.
Oh.
Oh, no.
He was like, I just drove to the airport with this thing at full throttle.
Oh,
I'm just like, oh, yikes. Anyway, neither here
Yeah.
nor there. When I was in college, 2009-ish, 2010,
Yep.
Toyota was
Toyota.
going through the same thing. You
That's
guys
when I had my
clearly all
Supra.
remember that.
I had a sticker that I got from the auto
Oh,
show the year
no.
before. It said Toyota moving forward. And then I took a solar Sharpie and I put it on my Supra, and below it I wrote indefinitely.
I would have written unintentionally before moving forward, but
Forward unintentional.
Toyota unintentionally moving forward. But
That
anyway,
was their ad slogan at the time. That's how they got rid of moving forward.
oh my God. I love
Like that's
that.
literally why it went away. Like they put the kibosh on that immediately. I think they.
This is when Bandit was made in like 2006. So.
Yeah, this is so. They put the kibosh on that. I think that like very briefly they brought back "Oh What a Feeling," because like
much better slogan.
Yeah, way better.
So anyway, as I was getting to, there is now a third contender in the room. Just announced, Tesla is
Yes,
now
I
being
heard about that.
investigated for unintentional acceleration. My favorite thing, as much as I hate like Trump and Elon having Twitter, Elon sends back a tweet that says, "No Tesla has or ever will have any unintended acceleration."
What? You
I'm
can't
just like,
promise that.
weird. You're telling me that your consumers that drive your vehicle and their floor mats jam the accelerator in the
Yeah.
full position are idiots?
So, speaking of that, we had a customer apparently during the Audi one.
Sure.
This is Toyota one.
It must have been the Toyota one.
It was the Toyota one, yeah, 'cause this is right when that happened. He brought the car to the dealership because his wife's car was doing that. And what he was smart enough, he put it in neutral until it got over itself and put it back in drive.
Sure.
And this is before they did it. He brought it to the dealership twice and couldn't find the problem. And one day he goes and picks it up, and it starts doing it as he gets on the highway. Puts it in neutral, coasts back down, pops it back and forth into gear to get it there, and then parks it right in front of the sales floor, bouncing off of rev limiter, puts it in park and walks up the surface and goes, "It's doing it now."
Nice.
Well, and he had like a Camry going about that loud.
Yeah, I've been in a car.
You just hear the pea shooter just lighting on fire.
Yeah, I've been in a PT Cruiser with the floor mat stuck in the accelerator. I thought I was gonna die. It was terrible because I was in a PT Cruiser.
Well, you're gonna die anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like,
Everybody dies.
fuck. Oh,
You just hopefully
Two,
it's not in the
it's fine.
PT Cruiser.
But yeah, so like that can happen anywhere.
It
So, like,
can, but I mean, it's always something else. I mean, in the
So-
90s, it was a cable-driven throttle. Like, there's no electronics to
Yeah.
do that.
Well, Toyota, what their thing was is it would corrode it would corrode the terminals. And the Toyota one, the throttle, if I remember correctly, the actual throttle itself, like what the way the rheostat works is its natural state was in full open.
It could be if it had like a Valvetronic or something like that. Where
No,
it
but I mean
used-
they actually because that's when they were first using drive by wire, and everybody's afraid of drive by wire. For a
But the
little
thing
bit.
is, well, I don't know what brand of throttle body they were using, but like the Bosch ones I'm familiar with on BMWs and everything else, they have two completely redundant rheostat circuits in
Yeah.
them.
But no, what the Toyota one would do is it would throttle would basically corrode from salt,
Sure.
and it would corrode into an open position.
I bet what would happen then is they're probably the corrosion would happen between the voltage feed to the throttle body
I think-
and the sense signal.
Yeah.
And they're 0 to 5 volts. So 5 volts would be open, and if it's sensing
That's what it was doing.
voltage
yes.
bleed,
It's exactly what it was
so
doing.
it's
yeah.
AMP's problem.
Yeah.
It's the company that manufactured the connector for the throttle body.
So anyway, that's the Toyota. It was a really quick fix. They just did it, but of course they said it was floor mats first, and then they that were correct.
In the Audi era, it was floor mats.
But that's what Toyota said too. Originally, Toyota originally.
I know.
said,
I did a paper on this in 2010.
Awesome.
I was in auto tech for this, so we were actually studying this as it was actually happening. It was really cool.
Yeah,
So,
I
and
love
was-
when you get to study
And
history.
I was doing
or current
electronics then, so I
What you got, stuntman?
exactly. I did
Neutral
really
drop
good.
it. Anywho,
Anyway, so now Tesla, I guess what's wrong with them? Is it like
nothing. Nothing.
It's just people.
It's
with
people
it.
being dumb. I mean, like,
How so?
imagine having your car on autopilot and then it like tries to veer out of the lane or something, so you correct for it, and you start driving normally. You don't realize that your radar cruise is still on.
Oh.
If you move lanes, your car will accelerate at tremendous speed in the lane next to it because there's nobody in front of you. So it's probably something like that where it's using the radar cruise system. But I mean,
So this leads me back to Elon Musk he is selling cars to fools, and now he's dealing with fools.
people that are coming out of Toyota Priuses are now in Teslas, and they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Once a fool, always a fool.
Yeah, I don't know how the relationship between the 90s Audi and the Toyota Prius in 2010 happened, but either way, it's the same idiot just migrating to different
Well,
vehicles.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because the Prius around then was like the cool car to have if you were like rich liberal.
But it's worth noting that Teslas do have neutral. They can be engaged at speed.
Perfect.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. You can turn it
Neutral
off.
is your friend.
So, I got an idea.
Okay.
Let's play a game. We are going to play the Carbitrage Worth It Challenge.
A what challenge?
The Worth It
Oh, I thought
Challenge.
you said, where's it?
The Carbitrage
Yeah,
Worth
where
It.
is this car specifically? You gotta
The-
give me
The Carbitrage
exact.
Worth It Challenge
coordinates.
is all about finding two cars that are at completely different price ranges and seeing which one is going to be the best value for money. So, January 29th, 2020, my golden birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, I've always said that so enthused.
So, on that day, not only did I turn 29 years old, but the 240Z set a new precedent for U.S. domestic market Japanese car overall price, where one sold for $310,000, absolutely bananas. Given
so
that being said, this is like literally the best possible, most iconic 240Z you could ever get. It's British. It's in whatever green color
British
it is.
race.
It's a greenish one.
It's in the really green. It's got a beige interior. It is gorgeous. It's got the white stripe. It says 240Z on it. It's very cool. It's a Series 1 with the turn signals in the proper locations.
Which is ugly as hell.
I like everything about this car. So this is like literally the best 240Z you could ever get. It's got 21,000 original miles on it, and every piece of everything has been documented on it. So if there's ever going to be a $310,000 240Z, this will be it. Also, side note, MS Classic Cars LLC, super shitty company because they bought this car from the estate of the original owner. They bought it for $35,000, whatever going rate was for a normal one. I don't know what they bought it for, but they bought it for going rate of a normal one.
Sure.
And went around and turned it for $310,000 and not giving a damn penny to the estate.
That's pretty shitty.
Yeah. I mean, it's solely within their right, but you can be within your right and still be a dick. So Martin
Well, it's like-
Shkreli was a dick,
It's
and
like
these
the Pawn
guys are a
Stars
dick
thing.
too.
Like, I'll be honest with you, this is worth like 10 times what you want for it. So I'll give you 8 times what you want for it.
Exactly. So
Like, yeah, be a good person. Even like, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, this thing it's pretty nice.
It's literally the best 240Z in the world.
And I hate that it was an estate too, because somebody obviously loved this car so much, and then their family got nothing for it.
To be fair, I mean, at the same time, they also could have done a better job teaching their family how to understand cars. But yeah, I mean, this is
Sometimes they don't have the means to keep it, you know.
yeah, and I think that's more what this was. Is they just didn't have the means, and now this person got like really screwed. Now, at the same time, all but 2 hours later, a 1992 Oldsmobile Silhouette sold on Bring a Trailer.
the Dustbuster.
The Dustbuster sold,
My
and it did not sell for $310,000.
maternal grandfather had one of the just like this.
It sold for $2,700. It is, but this is the thing. This
Isn't that
is
the most affordable thing to ever sell and bring a trailer?
It has to be. But this is the thing. This is the best Oldsmobile Silhouette ever sold.
Does it have a block heater thing sticking out of the?
Of course it does. This thing's amazing.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's got 200,000 miles on it.
And it's a
got
3.8.
3,800. It's got a dealership sticker on it.
This
It's
has
amazing.
this has to be a Series 1 3800.
This
too.
is the Cadillac of minivans.
This thing
Love
had the
that.
notoriously rotten rear subframe problem.
Yes, it did. This car's amazing. They're both really, truly amazing cars.
Pure
Look at the
Stratos.
interior.
So both of these cars were purchased for real life reasons. The person with the 240Z purchased that car to take it to Monterey Car Week.
Ryan, look at this. It wears 15-inch factory wheels with Goodyear tires on the front and hand cooks on the back. They're acknowledging it has mismatched tires
I
and
love
bring a
this.
trailer.
It's got auto-leveling rear suspension that
That's
works.
very cool.
That's super, super cool.
This is totally just...
This is a really awesome vehicle.
You want to talk about estate sales?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is it.
This is the vehicle.
So these are two
Oh
cars
my
that are
goodness.
purchased for essentially the same purpose. That 240Z was purchased for somebody to flex it on everybody at Monterey Car Week. This is used to flex on everybody at Radwood.
Oh, for sure. This has 200,000 miles on it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Wow.
super. It's unbelievable.
Really in nice
no
shape.
like-
crayons in the carpet. I do not believe
This
it.
is unbelievable. So
Jenna.
my question is: this is how the Carbitrage Worth It game is played. You have these two cars at drastically different price ranges.
I love how you're literally stealing the tagline from BuzzFeed.
It's literally just a BuzzFeed Worth It thing, but with cars now, because they never did that.
They did do that.
They didn't do it as a series, so on them. Anyway,
It's a defunct series anyway. So.
yeah, there you go. Problem solved. Anyway,
But check out this Delco auto reverse cassette AM/FM stereo.
my
And
question
cigarette
is:
later.
of
Coupled
these two amazing vehicles, both beautiful in their own right, that alternator is
I was gonna
seriously
say
overcharged.
this one produces way more volts.
This really needs to go in like.
Also, it's apparently low on
Fuel
fuel
light.
at 5/8 of a tank.
Okay, so this might have some electrical problems. This really needs to go to a mechanic like right now.
I want this van.
The rear axle's probably just rotted through the wiring harness. It's fine.
So the question at hand is, which one is a better use of your money?
The van.
Oh, the van.
The van is a better use.
The van's $2,700. I've like accidentally lost that much money before. 200, whatever the other one thing. Like I've never spent anywhere. I haven't spent half that much on a car.
You haven't spent half that on a
I
house.
literally, if you,
Well,
if
it's the
you,
same thing.
I think if you sold all of your cars and your house, you could afford that Datsun.
Maybe.
That's the thing. You have a
I would
nice house.
prefer have my house and all of my
You've got-
excellent cars.
You've got multiple very nice cars that are definitely better than that Datsun.
Oh my word! This is beautiful.
Look at how poorly
Silhouette
fitting this
is. It's carved into the plastic of the window switch surround on the passenger front door, and
So-
it is bowed out
As
quite
much
badly.
as I want to say,
It's got the sticker that has no wear on it.
oh my god, this is a beautiful sticker. That's a sticker that says "Close your eyes" because you might poke your eye out.
Oh,
Because the door on the Silhouette was at the exact height of the
But
average
Ryan-
American's eye.
it has outside temperature and a compass built into the multifunction display.
So looking at that
Is that a
multifunction,
DVD or a
No,
No,
it's
it's not.
sunglass holder, and then another sunglass holder.
well, this is all right. So all the seats are independently removable.
Beautiful.
It's very cool. Again, still talking about the Silhouette.
Yeah, we don't really care about the dots
Yeah,
and all that
we could
much.
care less.
So I believe the correct answer is there's the inflator for the automatic air suspension with a nipple. It's a
So you can
man.
inflate tires with it too.
Yeah, it's
Very
really cool.
nice.
It's a very very nifty.
Is that
van.
what this cord is?
This might actually be a better vehicle than the 240Z. What the hell?
I think I would actually rather drive this places than that 240Z.
So let's say you're buying either of these as not a daily driver, but these are both going to be a collector vehicle.
Oh, yeah, the 240.
Which one are you going to take to Monterey Car Week to be cooler? Will you be the awesome dude, the hero in the Silhouette?
The Silhouette will not get
the
in.
No, it will. That will not. That will get into the bring a trailer barbecue that happens.
Well, the bring a trailer one, yeah, because it's
But
sold on bring a
gives
trailer.
nobody gives a shit about Pebble Beach Concourse Elegance.
Look how much oil's coming out of that.
Oh my God! That's how you know it won't ever rust.
That's why the rear axle's still intact on this
Yeah,
one.
because this is all the oil
Covered in
hemorrhages out
There's
of it.
the block heater.
There's your block heater. Do you bring this to win the Bring a Trailer barbecue, and for you just to get to places in style with working air conditioning, or do you want the world's sweatiest house with a leather interior of that Datsun?
I cannot handle the price of that Datsun.
Yeah, I can't either. Like,
These are both the best price. These are.
I just love that they advertise the mismatched tires. That's like my favorite thing I've ever seen on Bring a Trailer.
like this is just amazing.
So I believe.
don't, like I could care less about the Datsun.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, sorry. I couldn't care less about the Datsun. Like, yeah, Datsuns are really cool, but like
You'll leave this up so we get a new episode
This.
thumbnail.
So, I think I have to agree with you, honey.
like,
The Datsun 240Z, I have to say, is without a doubt the best 240Z I've ever seen in my life. I love Z cars. The only reason I don't pay attention to them is I know I'm never going to be able to afford a good one. Now I definitely will never
and
be
I
able to afford a
know,
good one.
like I know a lot of people with Datsuns, and they're just like
A lot of them are
alright.
jerks. A lot of them are
and
jerks.
a lot of them are jerks too. So I'm just like, don't want to be a part of that community. I don't want somebody to come up to me and be like, I really like your car.
Does
And I'm
that-
gonna be like,
I know like
Get at me.
3 really good people at Datsuns. The dude that actually runs Bring a Trailer.
yeah,
he's
he's
really cool.
He's really nice.
There's Nathan with the Samurai Z. He's really cool. And then there's Carl, who's that really, really short little Filipino dude with the Datsun.
Yeah.
He's really cool. Oh, I guess Chris Dolan, too. So there's 4 people that...
Yeah, but like that's
I
like
know
a
they're cool.
handful of people. But like the amount of people that would come up and comment on my car,
I-
I'd be like,
I
Just
probably
go away.
know... But that's the thing is, I probably know 25 people with Datsuns. And I know 5 of them that would actively call a dick at all times. Which is much higher than even your average BMW owner.
I don't know a single Oldsmobile Silhouette owner.
I
And that's the
don't,
thing
and
I was about
would
to
love
say.
to.
The Oldsmobile Silhouette ownership ratio to dicks is
How
significantly
high
lower.
on the knee do those white tube socks go in those New Balance sneakers?
So
Honestly, not even that high, I bet, because I bet all the people that own these are really, really cool people.
If you took it to Radwood, you would have to wear a 1990s dad
hell yeah.
outfit.
oh, yeah.
And stack it like full of children.
You know what? Not only that, I don't
Good
think you would
lord.
have to do anything. I think you could just get
Or
Carl
all your
Sagan
friends.
to hop in.
Carl
Not Carl
S-
Sagan. What am
I was like,
thinking?
Carl Sagan's very
This dead
dead.
man.
I was like, that would.
Bob Saget. 2 totally different people.
Ow, my
You
ears.
can you can easily get Bob Saget to go to Radwood with you in this. Easily, no question. If Bob Saget's in town, he'll totally hop in your Silhouette and go to Radwood with you.
I don't know if I want that to happen.
Bob
The
Saget's
moral of the
awesome.
story is if you have these 2 options and these 2 options only, buy the damn Silhouette.
Yeah.
Or steal Carl Sagan's body and take the Silhouette to Redwood.
Also, you're still going to have the Silhouette, so don't buy that Datsun.
That Datsun's a stupid purchase. The person that
And
bought
it
the
probably
Datsun's
has
a
matching
fool.
tires, which means they're a fool.
Yeah.
This is
Who needs
the
matching
correct
tires?
ownership option is the $2,700 Silhouette.
I've still never seen anything sell that cheap on Bring a Trailer. The buyer's premium would only be like $30.
No, right?
Bring a Trailer's probably pissed.
Well, no, it's $100 flat fee. So
But there's also a buyer premium on
Oh,
top
there is?
of every sale. I know that because when we were shopping for Z8s, anything over $100,000 is a $5,000 flat fee.
holy crap.
But like
That's insane.
under 100, it's a percentage basis.
So either way, both of these cars pissed off
Sorry.
the owner of Bring a Trailer.
it's 5% up to
until-
$100,000, and then it's static.
So either way, either one of these cars pissed off the owner of
Yes.
Bring a Trailer.
That's amazing.
Which I hear
that's-
is a great guy. So
He's
so
he's
nice.
super duper nice.
we're looking
yeah.
for sponsorship.
So
I've got some
when he
business
found
card.
out that I really liked Renault
Carl's great,
5s,
too.
Yeah.
he offered to let me drive the Renault 5. It broke down,
That's a Renault
Renault.
5.
which is Renault. So whenever he
I
saw
understand. Thank you.
Whenever he saw our car.
whenever he saw our car, he'd park next to it with the Renault on the trailer.
So he's actually a really, really good guy.
Yeah.
I love Bring a Trailer. The owner of Bring a Trailer is super, super great guy.
He
The
like
only
my
people I've
photo
ever
on
talked to there
Instagram.
have been great. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell him I'm an archaeologist, and they go, "You're the coolest person I met," and I'm like, Like I like
That
my mind explodes.
that is the default response of everybody you've told that to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like
Most car
whoa.
people are super boring.
I always thought, like, what are you? I'm a banker.
I work at U.S. Bank as a teller.
Yeah, it's
Moving
like,
on.
you suck. Like me, like I work at a repair shop. Like fuck. I don't
Me,
know.
like, yeah, I work
Talk
in-
to my girlfriend. She's got the cool job.
I
She
work
looks
in
at
IT
big
and I
guys.
drive a Tesla. How much you want to talk to me, motherfucker?
I love that.
0% is what that is.
0%,
I'm
not
not going to
even a
mention that
little
we
bit.
also have like an E30 M3 with an S54 and a 1M and a Murcielago 6-speed that used to be owned by a porn star and a Z8 and all this
Yeah,
other
you're
shit.
not gonna.
No.
love
I want to
that.
set the bar low so you don't care about me, and then it's fine.
Favorite.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
know.
oh, by the way, Jenna Jameson's car.
Oh, you didn't ask if I had anything else.
Yeah.
There you go.
You just assume like Tesla. Okay, he doesn't.
That's
own
what
anything
I do.
else.
I
The
drove a
Tesla
Mazda
is
5.
like my favorite thing ever because I can get out of conversations with it.
It's wonderful.
Great.
Well, my favorite thing is I talk about my Mazda 5, and they're like, "Wait, what?" Like,
But it's a manual.
well,
It's
no,
so
that-
cool.
that's the litmus test. Is the Mazda
Litmus,
5 is like, if they get
If
excited
they
about
ask
the
you if
Mazda,
it's a manual right after
that's on. It's a really good car. It's a good litmus test.
litmus,
Litmus test.
it's with an M.
Well, it's a good litmus test.
Thank you.
For,
I also really like if somebody is like looking at his car, kind of like looking at it confused. I go sliding doors, manual, and then their brain explodes.
Yeah.
you know, why is this here? And it's like it's a manual minivan. like-
Name another vehicle in the United States that had that.
Yeah, and nobody ever thinks of the
That
Previa.
small with sliding doors and a manual is amazing.
But sliding door.
We got two.
One.
Oh yeah, it's true. Doors.
Previa had one.
Yeah, and mine has two. Actually, come to think of it, the Oldsmobile Silhouette in Europe had a diesel and a manual.
Well, a lot of minivans in Europe. Like, can we talk about the 1007 with the two-door vehicle that
Two
only
sliding
had
doors.
sliding doors?
It had sliding doors and a manual.
No, it did not have a manual.
Oh, it's sliding doors and an auto.
It only had a paddle shift automated manual.
Manual.
It was so bad. The first gen like smart automated manual transmission made by the French put into a small hatchback that only had French-made sliding doors on it.
That sounds like a really good.
So
way.
after I import an Avant time, maybe I'll look for a 1007
Yeah.
if there are any left.
Oh my gosh,
That'd be
that's gonna be
perfect.
hilarious.
So, I think this is a great place to end the episode with
think-
what we learned this week.
Oh God.
We didn't learn anything.
You didn't learn it. You're an archaeologist. What was your word of the week?
So, well, my word, no.
What was your word of the day today?
Today, they didn't learn a word of the day because I was with the toddlers.
What was your word of the day yesterday?
Gaggle.
What's a gaggle?
A flock of geese.
That's what you learned.
I learned that longtime employees that have not been promoted in a while are terrible managers.
Yes.
That's odd.
Something
No,
I
that's
learned.
very
There you
So
go.
this is what I learned. I learned when Mehmed II was was besieging
Jesus
Constantinople that he couldn't break the city wall. So what he actually did,
You will never hear this anywhere else, folks. this wide gamut of crap will never occur on your eardrums within a 1 hour period, as it will on Carbitrage. Please continue.
I learned that Mehmed II of the Ottoman Empire, when he's besieging Constantinople, actually went around Constantinople across the Golden Horn, which is the port of Constantinople, which is not Istanbul, which was
Istanbul,
Constantinople.
not Constantinople.
But anyway, what he actually did to get the ships around the giant 700-ton chain that would literally stop boats was he went and cut down the forest and towed the boats over the hill and slid them into the bay in the middle of the night. And they woke up in the morning to a nasty surprise.
And like, not only did he cut down the forest, but while he was cutting down the forest, so they didn't hear him, much like in Macbeth, he had cannon fire. So like, you know how in Macbeth they all dress up like trees?
Yes. And
His
so trees are
dressed up
moving.
as trees is cannon fire all day.
If you're watching in the video version, I am as uncomfortable as I appear.
So that's what I learned. I won.
Netflix produces very sexy documentaries.
Yeah, Mehmed II also looked like Post Malone.
And on that
Sort
note,
of.
we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.